as to where we're going, and ask and you shall receive. Give me Suravasa, baby, please, for map number 2. That's where we're going. You know what? First off, I just want to say, before I say that it's one of the maps that I think looks the best. I don't want that to make it sound like any of the maps look bad over and Overwatch. I think the art of the maps is probably one of my favorite things. But Suravasa, the color scheme, sign me up. I love it.
Yeah, I love the flowery, the nature vibe that you truly get. And I think especially you see that image of Suravasa. That is one of my favorite points, where it has that corridor, the high ground, low ground, and you've got some really interesting fighting scenarios and fighting arenas. For Central Buck South, though, we only play best of 3s in the regular season. So if you don't win this map right here, the series is over. Your first loss in the season. It wouldn't be a too bad one. Obviously, dropping to the runner-up state champions of last year in spring, but Penn Manor definitely on a tear, and they are looking good.
And Manor looking pretty good here. I would really like to see this thing go 3. The thing that's always so dangerous when you have 2 like heavyweights, the way that we do in this map, or on this server, I should say right now, is both have the ability to really run away with momentum. This Penn Manor squad, maybe I correct me if I'm wrong, Llama. I know we don't have the ability to like perfectly check this right now, but I believe a majority of this core has been around for the last 3 years. I think they've got like 4 seniors on this roster, and they're just a team that like they have that synergy where it's almost like even if they didn't have comms, they would still be able to be coordinated in their fights just off of their history together, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even in their own right, you talk about players that are finding opportunities, and you're talking about a lot of players that are actually searching for collegiate opportunities. Shootum, Big Jiffer, and IJV, especially when they graduate, there's going to be colleges looking at their name. As we're into the first fight here, and Wild Baller takes a 1-for-1 trade. Shootum getting dropped early is quite interesting. I love Brayden going with the sim. You've got these slow turrets to make the fight a little bit easier on the outskirts of this point. Nobody yet to capture it.
Buck South trying the best that they can. Currently, though, it is contested. Penn Manor has the slight advantage. However, they are going to be getting pushed back here. I mean, I really like the fact that the Titans have shown up in a big way here on this second map. The problem right now is they got Big Jiffer, who's been getting free pickings and now has been able to take to the high ground. It's almost like shooting fish in the barrel. No one's shooting back. And once the big dog falls, however, everyone else starts to be that much more squishy, as the team wipe should be complete here in just a moment.
You're in the way.
Wild Baller earns himself a 2K, and for Central Buck South, he mentioned the big guy. The Quickster is one of 2 presidents here in this team that you need to protect. It's a front-to-back composition, the Quickster, and Artie, if they go down, your team fight just falls apart. You don't have the damage to follow things up. You have Brayden for the close-range damage, but you need to get that Void Shield down and then take those 1v1s. But the bubble being popped early for Wild Baller, that is so much Zarya charge.
Able to start with here as they gotta find a way to work their way towards the point. Already at 60%. Here is Penn Manor. RE gonna be at 2 HP in a dream. I thought was gonna be able to find their way towards safety, but not quite going to be the case, as it's gonna be Wild Baller trying to help lead the charge here. It's going to be a nice Death Blossom from Shunam. We'll be able to find one. Unfortunately, though, only finds one. The good news, the rest of the team steps forward. The bad news, one of the players that is left on the point is the Quickster, and the fisty cuffs will be enough to lead Central Buck South to cap this point here at that 99 stop point.
And even saves the ultimate for the next team fight. Incredible performance after Artie was dropped very early into that team fight. Penn Manor, though, is bringing some big ultimates, and especially Big Jiffer could combo them really well if the Graviton hits. Brayden is going to wall them out and lay down some really good close-range damage and some slow turrets on top of the archway as well. Encroaching on 50% left. Long needs to juice up this sound barrier as quick as possible because Penn Manor is coming with ultimates.
See just how quick this thing ticks up comparatively, right? I mean, already at that 66%. That's the whole point. As far as of the playlist here and be able to find 2 as Wild Baller make it 3. And big bounce back here for Penn Manor, jumping right on in, finding those ones that were needed. Look at that. It's going to allow for Penn Manor to take point number 1.
Big Jiffer yoinks away the pentakill. But I love that ultimate combo. You get Kitsune Rush, you get Graviton combo together. And unfortunately for Central Buck South, 3 of them got caught in that Graviton. So Central Buck South now down 1-0. You need to get to 3 of these little sub-control hills in this flashpoint if you want to win the map. Penn Manor already on their way there, but as you mentioned, some really good fights from Central Buck South. We'll see if they can do it again.
Shunem, one of our favorite as far as damage players who can play aggressive and really put on highlight plays. Of course, with that, sometimes that over-aggression can pay the bills as far as the opposition being able to find those opportunities to be able to kind of fight back against this Penn Manor squad. I feel like the discipline from Shunem today has really been something that's been nice to see. We haven't really seen any of those times where pushing too far back and getting caught. Instead, just picking and choosing their moments and always finding ways to stay alive.
Yeah, Shunem accounts for 3 kills there, but more importantly, does some good chip damage to Quickster. It backs the tank off of the fight, and then he's like, okay, well now your backline is exposed. Teleports to the backline, takes down Artie and Brayden, and then there is literally no damage left to go. So Penn Manor taking those early fights, they've got 2 ultimates to work with again.
39% here, plenty of time here, or plenty of time left if you are the Titans, but you got to make sure that you can get towards the point here soon. Quickster, unfortunately, has already lost both of their damage players, so you don't have much as far as health. Everyone turns their attention that way, and everyone else will fall in succession. The dominoes will all fall, and already at 70%. Feels like at this point, if there's going to be anything on the second point, it's just a push for a touch, and I don't know if it's worth it. I think instead you just regather and focus on this third point. However, it does feel like the Titans have other things in mind, Llama.
It's good snowball out of control quickly as Shunem earns themselves a double kill. Sure, Quickster has found the backline and Big Jiffer dies, but it's not before Shunem rips another away. The Quickster falls as well next to their team, and Penn Manor goes back-to-back control points, or flash points rather. Central Buck South has 3 ultimates to try and fight into this third one, but boy, Penn Manor is looking good. They just have to charge up some of their ultimates.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing here is you mentioned the 3 for Central Buck South, make it 4 as Brayden just gets theirs, and more than likely by the end of things, Wrong Long will get theirs as well. Probably won't be able to stack it with anybody else because you more than likely will expend the other 4 before then, but Central Buck South right now has to worry about finding a way to stay on their feet, because Big Jiffer, like the last time I felt like we had sat on board in their POV, has just been able to sit back and gets free pickings on the back line, now taken up to the sky, and look at that, finding more openings here. It's too easy for Big Jiffer here and the rest of the Penn Manor squad.
Playing around that Ravenous Vortex timer perfectly, making sure they don't get slowed up, and again taking down Artie at the start of the fight. It's back-to-back kills for Big Jiffer, make it 3 as they steal away Shunem's extra. The headshots are ringing in, and Central Buck South can't even get to the point. All of that wasted time, all that delay has charged up all 5 ultimates for Penn Manor.
This point here with it already at the 60%, you're taking the fight. It's got to be here. It's got to be now. If you are the Titans, because you are already down 2-0 in this series. Shunem, however, already making a play to the back line. The ultimate feels like maybe a bit much for the 1, but then when you combine it with the rest of the squad just to be able to clean things up, that will wrap up this team fight. Everyone falls on that Central Buck side, and 95%. You watch the final couple percent tick down, and man, Penn Manor almost make things look too easy.
They change things up for map number 1 and earn themselves a nice clean sweep with not too much congestion. It's Big Jiffer, of course, that earns the play of the game on Sojourn. That puts Penn Manor up in a winning position, and boy, that overclock always so deadly, but targeting Artie first, putting a hit marker on them so many times, and being able to follow things up with a triple kill here in that fight, it always felt like they had Artie's name. Wherever it was, wherever they were, Artie is the main damage dealer. If you can take them out first, the fights were just so easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an example of understanding the opposition. It's one thing to be a team that's just good. It's another team to be good that's also very well prepared. And it's very obvious that Penn Manor came in with a game plan. You mentioned Artie really not given the space to be able to do the damage that otherwise we see week after week when CB South heads to the server. So a big shout out to Penn Manor. I'm sure CB South will have the redemption thoughts for next semester, or maybe even that conference playoffs here in just a couple of weeks. But Llama, we're going to keep things moving as far as the day here. We've got two matchups on the day. Matchup number 1 done and dusted. Matchup number 2, though, should be just as fun. Just as much as we had our first 2 undefeated, we still keep things going on in our D1's action. Forest Hills versus Loyal Sock. I believe that's our I believe it's like top 6 squads. So should be a lot of fun here, Llama. You ready?
I was born ready because Overwatch is awesome and I love watching it. I also love seeing an organization, or I guess school, like Forest Hills that has built so many successful teams, still the most winningest school in all of PIA. You go to what their structure is, and sure, we talk about their Rocket League team has won the most titles out of anybody. They got a player now on collegiate scholarship in Pigby who moved on to bigger and better things, but you're talking about a program that really cares about its students and has the structure for them to grow over time. And you could say the same about Loyalsock. I mean, we've gotten to know them more and more as we've gotten to call them more and more. So I think this is 2 really, really passionate schools that are both searching for a win.
I think the big thing here to keep in mind for these 2 squads, I had mentioned that I thought it was top 6. These are 2 like top 8s as far as Division 1. But 2 teams who you talk about in their separate conferences, because they are in separate conferences, are vying for those like last couple of spots right now to be potentially in that top 4 for playoffs. So it's going to be a matchup that has a lot of weight behind it. Should be a lot of fun. So y'all aren't going to want to go too far. Maybe grab yourself a quick drink, grab yourself a snack. I know we got a lot of kiddos getting home off of school. But on the other side, we've got ourselves another banger Overwatch matchup here for PIA right after this.